It's kind of become a thing that I start these videos by saying something to the effect of $388 million, or things are going really well right now, and this is no exception. We almost have $400 million. But for as good as things are going, they could be better. Not that we need or that I want more money, although I won't complain about more money. I just mean there are some efficiencies that could be made to improve things. And this is one example. This traffic is no. We need to do something about this. And I would also really like to just massively increase the machines production that we have going on near Liverpool, because this place needs to be supplying Sheffield and Birmingham and Oxford and Manchester and Liverpool and Waterford and other places in Ireland, I'm sure. But before we do any of that, I want to start here in London, because London has a demand for food, and I figure we can do something about that because we have a little farm up here by Reading. We have a food processing plant down here by London. And so I figure what we can do is take out some chunks of this road. We're going to connect over to Reading and the food processing plant, and then basically we're going to bring food into London is what we're going to do. We're going to bring food into London so that we can make a little bit more money down here. I'm also just going to redo this little bit of road because I want to get this to look pretty good. So I want it to sort of come out here. Do I need contour lines for this? Probably won't hurt to have some contour lines enabled. We're not really going too steep here, but I do want to come over this way. I'm sort of thinking we cut down towards Reading, and then we'll sort of branch off through this little space here between these two hills. That is still a hill in and of itself, but well, I don't really want to do a tunnel. I'd like to avoid doing a tunnel here. It seems a little bit unnecessary. So let's come over to Reading. Let's just go straight out to here, and we'll sort of cut our way just up and around this hill to about that spot. And then I'm thinking I want to kind of keep things just going a nice straight line here. That's all relatively flat, and we can just curve around like this, and that's going to be our connection to London, which is beautiful. We'll connect this guy up to that road as well to about this spot, and we can upgrade that entire road into a small country road, and that gives us a beautiful little connection. I'm also thinking I might bring this road out. It's kind of curving at the minute, which I don't love. I don't necessarily want to bulldoze all of these buildings, but just while we're here, I feel like I might as well just sort of improve this a little bit by just bringing a nice little section of straight road out to about that contour line is totally fine. And then I'm thinking I might connect it to this intersection, which might be kind of silly to do, but I'm thinking it's what I'm going to do because I just sort of like the idea of having this little connection here. So we'll go to about this spot. We can go straight across the bottom of that contour line, and maybe some kind of S bend up towards that new section of road right about there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. That'll give us an extra connection into London that sort of respects the contour lines, which is what I'm looking to do. Now, obviously, we need to connect up to this farm, so very, very quickly, let's make that happen. And while it's not perfect, I think this will do the job. I might even go so far as bringing a road more sort of directly towards London down here. That might not be the worst idea in the world. In fact, I think that's exactly what we're going to do. So we'll bring this road back a little bit to about there, and we can just very quickly bring this guy out to right about there. Should be fine. I'd like to bring this one straight through that road so that we can get that connection sorted out as well. I'm also going to just redo a big stretch of this so that the gradient's a little bit nicer to work with. And then essentially we're going to look to, again, sort of follow the contour lines as best we can, which we're already not doing, which is completely fine. This road is probably unnecessary, to be totally honest with you, because ultimately, I mean, we're dealing with engines and things like that now. We're not going to be too slow getting up this hill, but I think we might as well just get this to be a little bit more efficient. And so we'll just do something like this. I think is completely fine. I would like to make sure the terrain is nice and smooth around this and around this guy as well, so that everything looks pretty good. And it's probably kind of weird actually that this is sort of like the main road that goes up to that farm away from Reading, but you know what? That's fine. That is probably fine. I do imagine there'll be a fair bit of traffic going through here though. So it might not be the worst idea to just upgrade some stretches of this road to have just a few more lanes. I don't think will do any harm around here. I think we can upgrade you as well. And maybe that entire road going into London could do with some upgrades. We are going to be moving some vehicles, or not vehicles, moving some buildings. But to be fair, we're probably going to see some upgrades to London sooner than later, given that we're about to provide it with food. So on that front, let's go ahead and get ourselves a little good old truck station down here. We'll do the 2 platforms. We'll do the length, just the full 30 meters. And this could go up on the hill if I wanted it to. Oh, wow. It can actually go up there. That's an efficiency that I'm really, really tempted to lean into. That's really, really good, actually. I think I want it down here. I don't think it matters too much if it's down here. So we're going to be picking up grain from here. We could pick it up from that farm as well, but we'll start with this one because these guys, when they're upgraded, can produce up to 800 grain. So we'll place this here. In fact, we won't. We'll go through and we can just bring ourselves a little bit of road out here to make sure that traffic is doing okay. So we'll come straight out a little bit and then we'll put ourselves one of these guys at the end of that road, which is great. We can also expand the platforms ever so slightly. And do I want to put this in here? Do I want to do this? I think I do. I think I do. I like my buildings. I like the curbs around this. I think it looks pretty good. And you know what? Just while we're here, it feels like it's been a minute since I've done stupid landscaping. I know it hasn't been, but I'm going to put some trees around this just to make it look just a little nicer. We'll just sort of dot them around the farm a little bit to sort of enclose it a little. We'll put them on the hill as well, just around the back of this guy ever so slightly. I probably should have smoothed that terrain first, but you know what? It's fine. We have ourselves a little bit of a forest going on here, just sort of following that hill, or following that road rather, up onto the hill. And I think that looks fine. I think that maybe a little bit more in there, a little bit more in there, and maybe a couple of rocks just to add a bit of contrast to the whole thing. Maybe in here as well, where we sort of dug out the hill to make the road happen, and that seems fine. Just a little bit of detailing, just a little something to make this feel a bit more planted in the world. I like that a lot. Now, when it comes to this place, it is probably going to end up delivering food to a lot of locations at some point. But right now, I just want to do something relatively simple, I think. So I'm going to just do 3 platforms on the right. I'm going to do 2 on the left. That'll be our drop-off point. And I'm very tempted to do it like here rather than down there, because I just think it'll look better up here. So I think that's what we're going to do. We'll do a little stretch of road here just to make life a little easier. We'll go for the small country road and then just put our depot at the end of it, which again, I think looks totally fine. Same story. We'll just expand down a little bit. We'll put this guy at the end of that. In fact, you know what? We're not going to do that because we are probably going to have to expand this at some point. So we'll just leave this one relatively standard. We'll not put a bunch of trees around this one, and that should be fine. Now, when it comes to delivering food into London, it is this part of the town over here that we're looking for. So I'm going to go for this little road right about, it's going to replace the existing stop though, is the problem. I don't want this stopping on a main road. Like this road right here, stopping there seems a bit silly. What if we just put a truck station in here? I wonder if that would be a better idea. Although that's going to take up a lot of space, and it does also seem a little bit unnecessary. Maybe we just deal with the fact that we're going to have to put this in the main road for now. There's not that much traffic going through London, so it's probably going to be okay. So we'll go with there, and that'll do. We'll go ahead and get ourselves a line set up now, which is going to go from platform number 5 in here all the way up to York Road in London. And I do want to get myself a waypoint, because I don't want it U-turning on that road. I want it to go around. Why would it do that? That is not even close to what I'm looking for. That's, it's trying. It's definitely trying. Can I add, what if we get rid of that waypoint and I add this one? Does that Nope, that's still not what I'm looking for. Okay, this will do just fine. I built a new road and moved things around a little bit. It now loops around in a way that kind of makes a bit more sense. So we'll call this road cargo. It is London. It is food to city. And that is great. It is going to be that beautiful blue color right about there. And all we need to do now is create a new line that is going to be, it's going to be another London line. In Reading, I want you using both platforms. Down here, I want you using platform 1 and 2. So we have 2 pickup, 2 drop off. That's kind of the idea. Road cargo, London, it is grain to food is what it's going to be. Go ahead and get that in the same lovely blue color that we have. And now we just need vehicles for this. So London has a demand of 61 when it comes to food. I suppose what we'll do is just get ourselves, we're probably going to say 5 of these guys to start with. We'll paint them in sort of a greenish color because food, I suppose. And we'll go and say food to city right about there. Now looking at that line, that's the wrong one. Looking at that line, it has a rate of 50. Let me put 2 more vehicles in that. Should give us a rate of about 70, which is what we're looking for. Just a little bit more than what we're looking for, but that's okay. And then in here, it is a 2-to-1 ratio. So that means that the grain to food line is going to need a rate of 140. So we're going to go in, we're going to start with, I'm going to say 10 of these guys. We'll paint them in sort of a sandy kind of color because grain, and we'll put them on the London grain to food line, which gives us a rate of 83, which is not bad. We don't need to double the number of vehicles we have, but I would say another 8 vehicles on there might be enough to bring us up to about 140, 149. That's pretty solid. So we have grain production up here. We will have food production down here. That is going to give us a nice little bit of food delivery into London, and that's going to give London some growth, which is going to be fantastic because it's going to mean more people wanting to use HS1, which I know doesn't run to Manchester. The rail one doesn't go to Manchester. It's going to give more people to HS1, which means more money for me because of this line. So that's good. That's growth in London, which is what we're looking for. You know, it pains me to say, but I've only just noticed that both Canterbury and Brighton also happen to want food. So I might use this as an opportunity. Even Bournemouth, that might be a little bit further away than I'd like, but very, very tempting to bring food at least down to Brighton and Canterbury. I'm also noticing we have a forest sawmill and a tools factory right here. So we could potentially start providing tools to Ipswich and Cambridge and to Shrewsbury, Exeter and Plymouth as well. So we have another facility down here that we could set up an industry around. I don't know if we're going to do that today, but at the very least, I think food into Canterbury and Brighton might be a really good idea. So let's go for a little station right about there. And then down this way, we can go for a station pretty much right in the middle of town. Seems like a great spot. Now I'm wondering, do I want to do some new roads that come out here to make it a little bit easier to get to Brighton? We could go under that bridge. That would definitely be sort of an option. I don't know if we need to, although it would be so much quicker than going through Reading. And we also have $450 million, so it's not like we can't afford it. Let's take a look and see what we can do. I'm just going to drag this out and see if it automatically updates the bridge. It doesn't. It doesn't. That's good to know. Or rather it does. It just doesn't here for some reason. What's it colliding with? Oh, it's colliding with this guy. That's really interesting. Okay. So it, okay. Well, in that case, let me bring this road straight out and we'll do it this way instead. We'll go to about there, which is, I don't love a road going under that bridge, but I think it's interesting. It's definitely different. And that's not what I'm looking for at all. Nope, still not what I'm looking for. This will be totally fine. That gives us a nice little tunnel through that hill, which we could probably take a little bit lower, make it a little bit bigger, just a little bit more interesting. So we'll go for something like that. We can smooth out those edges, and that now gives us a much quicker. Oh, wow. What is that? What is that? Okay, we've solved that issue. I'm not really sure what was going on with it, but there's me tunnel. There's what I'm looking for. Let me also just downgrade this to a slightly smaller road because I think that makes more sense. We'll smooth this out so it looks a little bit better too. And that now gives us a connection down to down to Brighton that I think is going to be much, much better. I'm even tempted to sort of take out this part and connect over to that road. I kind of feel like that would make sense. So let me just bring this little country road straight through to here. It is carving out some of the terrain, but that's okay. I'm also going to just cut here so I can get a nice little curve on this. And hopefully this looks good, which it kind of does. I'm sort of okay with that. Definitely sort of okay with that. What's the main connection elsewhere? Oh, it's this road. Okay. So I guess this road could probably continue to exist, but I'd like to sort of change it a little bit so it's not going to continue to exist is I guess what I'm getting at. Because I was thinking we'll just come straight out here and we'll just come straight out here and then curve those together. So it's kind of like that. It's just a little bit neater, which I think is totally fine. And if I smooth this out, you'll never, no one's going to be any the wiser that that wasn't the original road. So I think that looks fine. It's like I said, it's going to be a quicker way to get to Brighton, which is great for this guy. Canterbury, we're not going to worry about too much. And I guess now we go new line. We say from here, going from platform 4, going down to Brighton. So right about there, we'll say road cargo. It is Brighton, and it is food to city, which is beautiful. Brighton being down on the coast, let's go for a bright sort of yellowy color. That seems kind of fun, and that should be pretty good for us. And then Canterbury is going to go from platform number 3 in here. And I suppose color-wise, if I can get that station, it's going to be, let's do green, assuming it doesn't have another green town next to it. So Cantebury. Canterbury, it is food to city. Does it have another green? No, it does not. Okay. So that's totally fine. That gives us the Canterbury line and the Brighton line. We now need rates that match those. So Canterbury has a demand of 70. So let me go ahead and get enough vehicles so that we have a rate of 70 for this thing. We'll say we're starting with 10. We'll paint them. I think it was that color that we did for the food, and it's road cargo Canterbury. If we go and look at this guy, 49's not bad. Definitely not bad. If we manage the line, I think we can do a little better than that. We'll go ahead and put 5 more vehicles on it, which is going to bring us up to 73, which is perfect. All right. So Brighton, if we look down here, has a demand of about 66. This should be a bit of a shorter line, so we should be able to manage, I'm going to say, with 8 vehicles. I might be a little optimistic on that, but I'm willing to give it a shot. So Brighton right there. If we look at the line, 62. I was close. I was very, very close. Let's put 2 more vehicles in that because 10 is a much nicer number than 9. 78 is fine. That now gives us 3 consumers for this one location, which means we are going to need so much more grain coming down here. It's going to be a little bit silly is what it's going to be. It's going to be very silly is what it's going to be. Although I will say it is good news that the London grain to food line has a rate of 200 with 18 vehicles. So if I duplicate this, that basically gives us 400 as a rate, which is perfect for now. That's so much more than we need. That won't last forever, admittedly. We will eventually. Oh no, I knew this was going to happen. This was this is kind of what I was worried about, was the all the vehicles getting stuck in here. We also have these guys. We have a bunch of civilians using this road to get down to to Brighton. I guess that makes sense. Oh, I didn't think about that. I really did not think about that. What could I do to stop civilians from using this road as a means to get to Brighton? Not a lot, really. I could probably put more lanes on it because it's kind of become a main road, I suppose. I could put like a way from like over here down to that road. That might actually not be a bad idea now that I think about it. So let's do a little bit of that. Let's bring this guy out to here and let's sort of do an S bend up to this road and we'll see if people use it. Hopefully that's a way for them to get like down. Do my vehicles use it? They don't. Hopefully that's going to be a little bit quicker for them. And hopefully they don't, block up this entire area because that would be a massive problem. Oh, now this is a little bit unexpected, but the Reading farm is already looking to upgrade. So its production is going to jump as soon as it does from 400 to, oh no, it's fully leveled at 400 apparently. Okay, well, that's fine, I suppose. We're also able to ship 400 right now, which is amazing news. This guy is well on its way to leveling up again. Brighton and Canterbury are going to have more and more demand as time goes by, so we should see that factory level up. But the good news is London is getting the food that it needs. It also demands goods now, which is fine. Canterbury has a ton of people waiting in here. That's a little bit surprising. Wasn't expecting to see that, but we should see Canterbury pretty happy, and we should see Brighton pretty happy as well. So that makes me pretty happy because I can move on from London for a little bit. We will come back to it, but I can move on for now because I want to bring machines into Manchester, into Sheffield, into Birmingham, and into Shrewsbury. So that is 4 more locations, which means we're going to come in here and get one. Once the game's done auto-saving, it always auto-saves every single time. Every time I will be like, I'll stop talking, right? It's a little bit of how the sausage is made when it comes to these videos. The way I know to edit these videos the way I do is that I will say something and then I will stop talking, and I can see in my editing timeline that I don't say anything. So I know, cut that bit out. So whenever I was like, I can move on because I want to do machines, I stopped talking when I said I can move on. I moved the camera over to here and I was like, because I want to do machines. Every time almost that I do that, right? The auto saves never happen in the gap that I know I'm going to cut out of the video. They happen like within 3 seconds of me starting talking. Every single time. It does it in City Skylines as well. It's really frustrating. Anyway, I've gotten slightly distracted. How many towns am I working with here? Manchester, Sheffield, Birmingham, and Shrewsbury. So I need one more platform down here is what I need. And I'm kind of thinking that I want to make this a little bit longer here. I think that's good. I would like to, do I want to mess around with buildings in here? Is that a thing we want to do? Do we want to get like I kind of want to get I want to get these little corner buildings in here because I think it looks better. I'd like to do this. I'd like to do this, this, and this. I can get another one there, which is great. I can get another one there, which is great. And this one here looks fine. You can go here and here. And that just gives us a weird looking structure that I can work with. We are going to have to expand this at some point, but this just looks like more of a facility now, and that's something I appreciate. I'm also going to flatten the terrain around it a little bit so I can work with that a bit better and make it look a little smoother out here. I probably will put some trees around this since this place has some trees in it as well. But first, I would like to look at bringing those machines into all the different cities. So Manchester, I don't know why I've paused. Manchester wants machines dropped off here. What are we already dropping off here? Bricks? Do I want to, what is that line doing? No, it goes out there. Do I want to drop off machines at the same location? I probably don't, right? I probably want to say like this little street so it kind of loops around a different way. That probably makes more sense. And then for Sheffield, it's pretty far away, but I'm going to allow it because Sheffield's doing a lot for us. What part of Sheffield wants the machines though? Am I blind? Oh, I see it. It's right in here. Oh God, the frames are really not behaving. Right there, that one building wants machines. So we'll go right there for a little drop-off point. When it comes to Birmingham, it's a little easier to see what part of Birmingham wants the machines. It is this street right here. So we'll go, is that a main street? It kind of is. Let's do this little side street here because that's going to be a little bit easier for traffic. And then Shrewsbury, let's go for right in here. And that'll be totally fine. So let's have a look. We'll do road cargo from Shrewsbury to up this way. And we want to say it's going to platform 7 is the start of that. We'll say road cargo. How do I spell? Oh God. How do I spell Shrewsbury? SHREWSBURY. I've got it. I'm good at spelling me. Machines to city is what we're going to go for on that one. And we'll say, what's it surrounded by? It's got silver on one side. It's got green in the other. Let's do pink for Shrewsbury. And I guess we'll do the rest of these really quickly and get some vehicles on it and hope for the best. And there we go. We have everything set up to head out and do what it needs to do. We have machines getting loaded onto the platforms for Birmingham already, which is amazing. So now what we need to do is figure out the rates of each of these locations. So Shrewsbury is 68. We have one vehicle in this line for a rate of 5 right now. So we're going to duplicate. We're going to duplicate again. Should give us about 20. We'll duplicate again. Should give us about 42. 2 more vehicles will give us up to about 52. And 2 more will give us 63. 1 more vehicle gives us 68, which is perfect. And because I don't like the number 13, we'll do 2 more to give us 15, which is fine. So 78 will be the rate for Shrewsbury. When it comes to Birmingham, we have a demand of 69. So we'll have a look in here. It's got a rate of 5 right now. So same story. We're going to duplicate. We're going to duplicate again. We're going to sort of keep duplicating until we get to about 75 or so. So we'll put 2 more vehicles in here. We'll do 2 again. That gives us up to 70, which is fine. Number 12 is okay, but we'll do 3 more vehicles to bring it to 15. And that gives us 88, which is a bit more than we need, but that's totally fine. Manchester only has a demand of 17 because it's a relatively new line. So Manchester Machines to City has a rate of 7. We'll go ahead and duplicate this, and we'll do 1 more. That's going to give us a rate of 21. We'll do maybe 1 or 2 more just so it's a little bit more future proof, which is solid. And then finally, Sheffield has a demand of 14. Again, a little bit further away, but we should be okay. We have 5 in here, so we will duplicate, and we will do 1 more vehicle just for a tiny bit of future proofing on that one. And that now gives us enough vehicles to deliver machines to all of those locations. Oxford could be included as well, a little bit further away, so we're going to avoid that for now. But I'm curious to see what it does to this place. Obviously, we have a bit of traffic down here as the vehicles sort of filter through. That's okay. This place is going to level up, which is amazing. But the question then becomes, if this place is going to level up, what do we want to do in terms of the lines that are providing this place with the steel and the wood? Now, interestingly, we have a bunch of planks stored in here, 335-ish, with only a little bit of steel. So that tells me we're bringing more planks than we are steel. Those lines aren't really all that balanced. So how do we want to figure that one out? I guess what we do is we look at this line over here and we see how much we're moving. So planks to machines has a rate of 99, whereas the steel is coming up by train, which has a rate of 101, which is interesting. That shouldn't. Okay, fair enough. Also, interesting detail about the planks production. I don't know what possessed me to use this forest up here when we have this one down here that's so much closer. I'm very tempted to just get rid of this line because it is going to be interrupting my traffic a little bit, and just sort of like using this forest over here. I feel like that would make so much more sense. I really do. I feel like that would make so much more sense. You know what I'm also thinking? Is this my bottleneck? It kind of looks like it might be. 92 on this. If I put 2 more vehicles on the steel to machines line, what does that do for the rate? 116. Okay. Let's just leave it at that for now and see what happens. I'm kind of curious. The train is full at the moment, so that means it's probably on its way up here. How much steel is sitting down this way? 1. There's the train right there. The train is leaving with 1 steel left behind. If we look over this way, production is not very well balanced either. We have a bunch of coal in storage. So looking at those lines, the coal line has a rate of 219, whereas this line over here for the iron has a rate of 209. So it's really not that much of a difference, but it's enough that we are going to see a bit of an imbalance. So if I put 1 more vehicle in here, that gives me 218. So that balances them out a little bit. That still just totals up to about 100 on the production of steel, which arguably is probably not enough. I don't know how many vehicles I want to put on these lines because I don't want to run them just constantly through Ipswich, but I might have to just, I mean, this guy can produce up to 200, right? For it to produce up to 200, we need to be bringing 400 of the raw materials. So I think we're going to take a chance. We're going to put 40 vehicles in here. for the coal delivery, which gives us a rate of 437. And then for you, we can duplicate as well. That's going to give us 46 vehicles, which is completely fine. And that's going to give us a rate of 435. So that's, again, relatively balanced, I want to say. That should massively increase the steel production to closer to 200, which means that the steel to train line needs to be able to handle that. So we'll duplicate all of these vehicles as well. That'll give us just over 200 in the rates. And so we should have more steel now going to Manchester, which is perfect. Although that says to me that we probably also want to get another train, because the rate on this guy is 102. It needs to be over 200. This is an expensive purchase, but it's what we're going to go for. And that's going to give us 204 in the rate. So again, that's more steel going to Manchester, which tells me that the rate on this line also needs to be about 200. So let's go and put a bunch of vehicles in here. We'll do 5 more on this line. That gives us 184. Give me like 2 more vehicles for just about 208. That's perfect. Okay. So now that should be bringing more steel down here, which should result in more machines production, which should result in the machines getting delivered to all those different cities a lot more efficiently. The thing is, I'm still not delivering machines to Belfast, and that's kind of what I want to do, but I don't. Oh man, that's a lot of work. That's a lot. We're going to have a lot of steel and a lot of planks, and I don't know if we're there yet. Although I will say, I've just realized that I did all the steel production. We're now moving like 200 steel to that factory. We should also be moving about the same amount of planks, and we're not. So to make 200 planks, we need to be moving 400 logs, which we can do, but I'm not willing to put 400 logs worth of vehicles on this intersection, because this intersection's already interrupting my traffic flow between Grimsby and the quarry. So I think we're going to move that facility. I think we're going to move that down to here because it's a little bit closer, and I think it just makes more sense. So let me get myself a building. We'll go for the truck station. We'll go for a platform on either side. Should be fine. I want to say right in the middle here. In fact, no, I don't. I want to bring that back as I usually do. Let's give it a little stretch of road in here so it actually works nicely. Do I want to upgrade this road? I don't see why not. We can probably upgrade like all of these to something that's paved at the very least, so it just looks a little bit more, I don't know, modern, I guess is the word I'm looking for. We'll upgrade this entire stretch of road as well and upgrade you. So this one's going to have a facility on it, which is why I've gone for a slightly different road here. We'll do our little stretch here, and then we'll put our truck depot right about there. Now, in terms of connecting this over, I think I'm going to look to use this existing road, and then we'll just sort of pivot towards the end over that way, and that should be fine. So let me turn on my contour lines so I know what I'm working with. Basically, I'm thinking off of here is kind of what I want to do, and I just want to sort of get down that hill as best I possibly can. It looks like we're actually going up and over a hill, which is fine. So we'll curve our way sort of gradually up that hill right there. We can cut through this little area right about here, I guess, and then bring it down, and that'll probably be okay. So let's just, I don't know, let's just do this. Let's just do this. Yeah, that's fine. It's a little steep, but sure. Unless, would that road out there isn't even really needed if I do this, now that I think about it. Yeah, you know what? Get rid of this entire stretch of road. We don't actually need it if I do what I'm doing here. That road was built. I built that road specifically for the that logs line, so we don't really need it. We can just do this, and that seems a lot more gradual. And that looks okay. I'm sort of okay with that. Let me upgrade all of these roads as well, because they probably should be. This road can be upgraded. This road can be upgraded. This little stretch can be upgraded, and this little stretch can be upgraded. I'm not going to do this because it is very much a backcountry road, but all of that definitely looks a little bit better. This part can be upgraded too, since I'm going to be using it. And then I guess we just need to move this line is what we need to do. I'm not going to delete it. I'm just, because it is still technically Grimsby. So we want to go in here, manage the line, and we're going to say go from there down in Grimsby South, use both platforms, delete the Grimsby West stop, and that now gives us a rate of 176. So that's good. That's not bad by any means. I think we need more vehicles though. So I'm going to duplicate all of those, which is going to give me a rate of 351. Give me 5 more vehicles in that line for a rate of 395, and give me like, you know what, just give me 5 more vehicles again. Give me 50 vehicles in that line. That's going to be over 400 logs coming through here, which guarantees 200 plank production. Looking at the planks to machines line, we basically just need to duplicate the vehicles for 200 on the delivery right here, which is perfect. And that gives us everything we need. So it takes my vehicles away from this intersection, at least some of them. It should mean that intersection can flow a little bit better. And arguably, since I'm using this road, I might as well just upgrade this entire stretch of road so it's actually a little bit faster as well. Now this is something I did expect to happen with the number of trucks I have coming down to this machine's factory. Let's go ahead and upgrade this little stretch of road right here. Let's upgrade this curve right here as well, so we have some lane options for where the traffic can go. We might as well upgrade this stretch, and we'll upgrade, we'll do all of this as well, just to make life a little bit easier for traffic coming around here, so that they have options, right? That should make life just a bit better. They can kind of have one lane for going straight on. They've got a turning lane. They've got traffic lights as well. It's getting very modern around here, which I don't know how I feel about that, but it's fine. It's weird seeing paved country roads. I'm not used to it yet. Now, since I've kind of been in the business of optimizing things a little bit today, I would like to optimize some of what's going on in here. I do want to fix this traffic, and the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to flatten this terrain for a second, because I'm going to basically just build another truck depot in this area. And the way we'll do this is by doing 3 platforms on the left, none on the right. And I basically want to create something in here so that well, would I be better going here to begin with? I almost want to say I would be, and then I can sort of, I can rebuild the entrance to this place, because I want to basically move this not move the intersection, because we have some vehicles still using it, but anything coming in on this road, I want them to use a separate intersection is kind of my thinking. So if I was to do something kind of like this, right? And then I was to go in there with street access and say that we want to have an entrance here, and then bulldoze that bit of street access as well as these platforms. I want to see what that does. It still leaves us with this like central part here, which is really unfortunate. I was hoping that we'll just bulldoze the entire thing essentially. Wait, what is this? Oh, that is wait, hold on a minute. What have I done here? Oh, wow. I can just like, okay. I didn't know I could do that. That's really cool. All right. Good to know. Not what I need. That's absolutely not what I need. Okay. My thinking then is I was hoping I could get this to be like nice and level with the other one. I don't think I can, which is fine. Basically, I'm just going to build this. I'm going to go like here, and I'm going to say that we're going to do just a bunch of platforms in here so that this thing has a fair bit of space to it. It is connected to everything, right? Wait, what are you connected to? Bricks to city, crude oil to oil to, as long as you're connected to that factory, we're fine, which I think it still will be. So if I go into the crude oil line, this is the one that's causing the problems, and I say that instead of Liverpool Central, you go here, and then I say that you are just going to use every single platform available to you, and you're only unloading stuff. What does that do for us? Are they going to go in there, and are they still going to unload their cargo without too much of an issue? It certainly looks like that's what they're going to do. They're not. Oh, that's curious. Although, are you guys, oh, you guys are all empty. That's why. I think because I reset, I've technically reset the line. I think that's the problem. I also realized that technically this doesn't solve anything because we're still going to have traffic trying to get in here because of how this works. Okay. I'm going to try one last little thing with this. I'm not sure if this will work. but I would like to do street access at the back. And I want to see if I can get away with a little road that comes out this way. Not 100% sure that I can. I also can't get it to snap to a 90 degree, which is really annoying. So let's do this instead. We'll bring this up and we'll bring this sort of out. Does this still have a connection if I then bulldoze this connection? It does. Okay, so that now gives traffic sort of a way up and around, which is arguably going to be better for us. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. And they're delivering still, which is perfect. Okay, that should solve our issues. That should put us in a good spot. Let me just, can I really not upgrade that road or downgrade? Wait, what is that road right now? Is that just a little small street? It totally is. Should it be a country road with like a higher speed limit? I don't know that it needs to be. It certainly could be. I think it should be a little small street. I think that makes more sense. Sort of. I actually don't know. All of this should technically be a small street as well, but it is higher speed. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let me just come in here and configure these platforms to be slightly larger because it's going to look better if I do that and just have these slightly larger platforms. Can I get, oh, I can totally get a curb on that side. We're definitely gonna put a nice large building in there. Get one of these guys in here, a nice large building right there, a little one in the middle. That looks pretty good to me. I like that. Can't get anything down this way, which is fine. The next thing I want to do, of course, is I guess smooth this terrain so it doesn't quite look as rough as it does right there. And then, you know what we're gonna do. We're putting some trees in here just to make this look a little better. We'll sort of hide our crimes as we do with way too many trees. I want trees across here as well, and I want trees down the middle between these guys. So they're sort of separated a little bit. Separated a little bit is the word I was looking for there. I completely just mumbled all of that. We'll get some trees in here as well. And that, I think, solves our little traffic problem, which is great. It should make this guy so much more efficient as well, because they now have this intersection all to themselves. That's perfect. I love that. I love what we have going on up here. I'm so happy with this. I love how busy it is. I love how like the station is constantly overloaded. What are we producing right now? 670. We're only shipping 78% of that. That's wild given that we have 3 trains on this. Give me another train then. Let's see what we can do. 729. Let's see if we can keep up with that. That's amazing. What are we doing in terms of the bricks? 204. Okay. There's a lot of bricks waiting in here. What's the demand in Liverpool? It is 145. Okay. Let's go to the Liverpool line, I guess, and let's get another 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles, and this should be enough to bring that to roughly 145. 151. That's completely fine by me. Looking at Manchester, the demand is 129. And this line is 93. So same story. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half of the vehicles, duplicate them. That should bring us to 137. I don't remember what the number was. I've already forgotten. I'm old. 129. Okay. So we're doing good. We have enough vehicles. We should be able to move those bricks. We should be able to move all of that oil. If we have a bunch of fuel over here, we can hopefully move it, which we are. We have a bunch of bricks waiting to go to Leeds as well. The demand being 118. The rate being 178. We're good. We're doing well. I'm really happy with this. We also have nearly $600 million, which is absolutely wild. And a bunch of machines down here waiting to go to Birmingham and waiting to go to Shrewsbury. Production in here is starting to level up, which you love to see. Very, very excited about that as well. So it's just hit me that in all the time we have been working around Liverpool, also Birmingham wanting bricks, kind of a big deal, but not right now. We've had Liverpool loop number 1, and it's basically never made money. Now, something I'd like to do is go in and replace those vehicles with some proper little trams, because we do have those available now. They're a bit faster. They carry a lot more people. Well, 2 more people. So we'll replace those and see what happens. We could probably expand the tram line a little bit as well, since we have this whole area up here now. But I think what I'd rather do is bring some trams into Manchester. That seems like a really fun time. So essentially, this main road right here is going to have a tram line running along it, or rather, it's going to have 2 tram lines running along it, because I think I'm going to do 2 loops around Manchester going in sort of alternating directions. One sort of going this way. The other is going to sort of head out and around this way. Do I want to take it out here? Do I need to take it out there? I think I can get away with just bringing it straight down here. And essentially, we're just going to have them, loop around is what we're going to do. So we'll go in here. We'll get ourselves a bus/tram stop. I want to say we want to go here, I guess. I need to remember what way traffic goes. I'm going to say here, actually, because that makes my life a little bit easier. We'll skip that block. We'll go to this one. So right in the middle of Manchester there. And I think I'd like to do another one right here before they sort of branch off in different directions. We can do one over on this hill. Should be totally fine. And I think I might just sort of dot them kind of next to where their other stops happen to be. I think that should be totally fine. Although over here, to be fair, there's not a lot of buildings down there, but there will be eventually, so that should be all right. And then going this way, we'll sort of do exactly the same thing. We'll just sort of dot them, say there. We'll put one up here, and that should be fine. We could do one that goes around the outside of the whole place as well. That could be kind of fun, just to sort of change things up a little bit. That might not be the worst idea in the world. Let's do that. Let's have 3 tram lines going around Manchester, because Manchester, to be fair, Manchester does have trams. The trams in Manchester are great. I love them. They're a really great way to get around. They kind of go everywhere as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, no problem doing a ton of trams around Manchester, although it might not be great for traffic, because looking at this, we have already got a ton of traffic trying to get in here. So what if we upgraded that road to one with 6 lanes? We're going to be moving some buildings by doing that, but it now gives us a dedicated turning lane, lane for going straight on. Actually, no, it doesn't. It gives us 2 dedicated left turn lanes, but you know what? That's probably fine, right? That's, that's probably fine. Let's do this through the middle as well. We might as well just make Manchester. It's getting pretty busy in here, so let's do a little bit of an expansion right there. This road down here is also quite small, so we'll upgrade it while we're here, and that should be fine. I think that should be all right. Let's get ourselves some tram lines then. This is the next challenge. And then with those in place, the last thing we need to get is some kind of tram depot, which I would like to be in and around my industry, which looks to all be over here. So I think a tram depot right down this way seems like it would make the most sense. So right about there is kind of perfect. I like that a lot. Let's go ahead then and buy some vehicles. We're going to say I want 4 trams on the outer loop here in Manchester. We'll paint them yellow, of course. And that is going to go in the Manchester outer loop, which goes around everything. We will go for 2 on each inner loop. So these guys can go to loop number 1, and then we'll buy 2 more for loop number 2. So paint them yellow and loop number 2. So that now gives us a bunch of public transport around Manchester, which is hopefully going to make it easier for people to get to the train, which is only going to be a good thing. I'm also wondering if I maybe want to bring some people by bus from Liverpool to Manchester, at least to one of these stops in here, so they can also get to the train. We do have a little passenger hub down here, which would not be the worst thing in the world to use. So if I was to create a line from here that goes to even just this stop right here, would be totally fine. Although it needs to be on the other side of the road right there. I also don't want it to, I don't want it to loop around like that. So would it be better on the other side? It would be crossing over itself, which I don't love, but, no, I kind of want it to, I want it to behave. I want it to loop around properly, and I'm not too sure it's going to, because I'm pretty sure this is another bit of the, another example of waypoints not doing what I need them to do. Yeah, that's absolutely not what I'm looking for. Not even close. I guess we'll just deal with this. It's going to be cutting over itself, but that's fine. We'll say that is road passengers, and it's Liverpool to Manchester, if I can get that to work properly. Manchester is totally fine. We'll paint it, we'll do yellow for this as well. I think that's completely fine. and we'll get ourselves some vehicles for it. So going up here, we want to get ourselves some passenger vehicles. We'll go for the Daimler, and we'll say give me 5 of those, because I suspect it's going to be a potentially busy line. At least, hopefully, it's going to be a busy line. We'll go ahead and send those back and forth, and we will see what happens. At the very least, we do have a good number of people waiting in here for the train already. We have people waiting around Manchester for the trams, which is great news as well. And hopefully down here, we will see some people wanting to head over to Manchester, or some people heading from Manchester to Liverpool. Either way, a little bit of public transport in there is not a bad thing. I kind of want to do it to Birmingham as well. I really like the idea of having just like some buses. I don't think I'd do multiple loops around here, but just a little something to take some people out to the train probably wouldn't hurt. So let's just do something relatively simple for Birmingham. We'll have it kind of go up to there. We'll have it go up to the train right about there. We'll have it come back down kind of into this space. And I want to say that's probably, did I not build one down here? I'll build it right in the middle of everything there. That seems like a better spot. And then we'll just go ahead and say this is going to be a loop going around Birmingham. And that is, at the very least, like I said, going to get people out to the train. So road, passengers. I really wish every time it showed me a new cargo, it didn't stop me from typing. That's really annoying. Birmingham loop number 1. That's totally fine. Birmingham lines look to be bright green. So I think is that shade of green we're looking for? It absolutely is. Okay. So now we need some buses for this. We'll go over this way and get ourselves a few more of those Daimler buses. We'll do 3 to begin with, because again, passenger lines typically don't tend to be very profitable, so I don't want to go too crazy with it. But we'll send some buses around Birmingham and see what happens. Do I want to do the same with Oxford and Reading? I sort of do, because I think it's going to help get people to the train. I kind of want more people being able to get to the trains, so let's do the same thing in Oxford, and I guess we'll do the same thing in Reading as well. And just like that, we have a set of new buses heading out for both Reading and Oxford, where there are already people waiting for the bus, which is lovely. They're going to be waiting a while because the buses are coming from London, but that's totally fine. They'll figure it out, is what they will do. In this way, we do have some people waiting to go to Manchester, which you'll love to see. We have some people waiting here to go to Liverpool, which again, you'll love to see. This train is... Do I want to put more trains on this? I kind of do, because the frequency is probably holding people back from using it, right? So let me manage the train. I like the electric train. Don't get me wrong. It is cool. It is interesting. But I really like the Flying Scotsman. So I'm gonna put the Flying Scotsman on here, is what I'm gonna do, because I just think it just looks so good. Such a good looking train. And then when it comes to the passenger wagons, I want to replace all of them, is what I want to do. And I'm wondering what they would look like in white. And the answer is not amazing. If I did them in a dark red, this is going to be sort of a Christmassy looking train. Could I mean, by default, they kind of match the color of the Flying Scotsman. So maybe that's what we do, is I just go, it's got a capacity of 136 right now. Let's go for 170 on the capacity, just because we can. And it's going to look good. It's going to look so good is what it's going to look like. So we'll go ahead and modify, and instantly, I love it. I love that. I really, really do. It's so good looking. I think I'm also going to take a risk. This line is not making money, but we are almost at 700 million. So I'm going to duplicate this train so that we have a much higher rate and a much more frequent line right here. And we'll just see what that does. I mean, there's 150 people waiting in Canterbury right now. So this train is going to be full. We also just get 846,000 for it stopping here, which is great news. But this train is going to be full heading out of Canterbury, which you'll love to see. We have, I don't remember where the trains actually come from either. Is that the depot right there? It is. I think the train is that it? Is that the new one? That is not the new. Where's the new one? Where is am I blind? Why is that it? That's not it. Where's the other train? Hold on a minute. Train 23, where are you? You're right there. Oh, you're on your, okay. It actually has people on board already, which I love. Okay. That's very, very cool. I'm very happy with that. We have 83 people here and climbing, people in Manchester. That's so good. I'm so happy with that. So just before we go ahead and wrap things up for today, I want to have a look at the Liverpool Machines Factory because we are transporting everything we need to everywhere that we have connected to this place right now, which is amazing news. This place is producing everything it needs to be producing. It does have a bit of a stockpile of planks, but we're slowly working through that, which is completely fine. My goal is to get this thing leveled up in much the same way that we've done with the fuel refinery on the other side of Liverpool. So eventually those machines are going to have to go to a bunch of other places, really. Cambridge for one, Oxford for two, Bristol, Aberystwyth, Shrewsbury. It's already gone to Shrewsbury. You get the idea. We're going to have to start delivering them all across England. We're going to have to bring them up into Scotland as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use this one factory for everything, but I would love to start taking machines by train up to Middlesbrough, Newcastle, Carlisle. We have Edinburgh, Dundee. We have I don't know how to pronounce that. I'll Google that later. We have to take them up there as well. That's going to be the real challenge. Going through the Highlands with a train is... Oh, we're going to get to build some really cool things up there to do that. That's going to be really exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to it. At the very least, for some of these, what might end up happening is I think initially we probably start bringing a train up to Newcastle, maybe up to Edinburgh. And I think the train drops off some machines in Newcastle to deliver by truck to Carlisle. And I think we drop off some machines in Edinburgh to deliver by truck to Dundee. And then maybe they go from Edinburgh by truck up to there as well. That could be kind of fun to do, but we'll see what happens is what we're going to do. I'm very excited about all of that. But that is going to do us for the time being. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.